Thank you, Karabo, for taking the time to chat to us today. Tell me, so it's a little bit unusual, isn't it? We're trying to shine some light on the dark doings at SARS, and here we are. The judge is saying, let's close some doors. We can't show you everything.
Well, Godfrey, you are absolutely correct, but sometimes the light must not shine on all the dark patches. I actually believe that because the unidentified testimony of the witness who took to the stage at the Nugent Commission happening here in Brooklyn today in Pretoria really put paid to why she should remain an unmasked person, if you will. She was testifying from the SARS anti-corruption unit. This was a unit that was established in 2008 under then Commissioner Mr. Pravin Gordhan. That commission, this particular unit was actually voted as the best corruption fighting unit within government in 2010. But there was another audit that was done on this particular unit, done by the Department of Public Service and Administration. And that audit, after it came out, it went downhill for this particular unit within SARS. Now, the unidentified witness really went into lengths to say that this unit was very effective. It used to look into corruption within SARS employees. But after the administration of Tom Moyane in 2014, it became a different animal altogether. Some of its independence and who it reports to was taken away. Now, the reason why this unit was necessarily placed outside of SARS is because it investigates SARS employees who may be tipping off cigarette smugglers and syndicates as such. So therefore, maintaining that distance is necessary. But this unit was co-opted into a unit that was formed under Tom Moyane, which is the Tobacco Task Team. And this team was given almost unfettered powers. They were given access to people's emails. There's talks that they even had access of people within the Hawks and someone at the Public Protector's office. So you get the sense of power. But the question is, what did they really investigate? And were they able to really pin down some of the known cigarette smugglers that were mushrooming and sprawling up within the country as a result of this unit that was once a supreme unit but now had been almost castrated. This is a little bit of what she says the paranoia within SARS and this particular Tobacco Task Team were ultimately doing within SARS. Here's a little bit.
Would you say then that corruption increased? That you were a brake against corruption, the brake removed, and therefore corruption increased?
I would definitely say that we were not combating corruption with the same strength and capability that we had done in the past. If syndicates were operating, we were no longer getting those cases, we were not investigating them, and if you understand SARS, it's a bank. It's probably the biggest bank in Africa. The amount of money that goes through the SARS accounts, it's huge, trillions that pass through. So it's not as if syndicates will stop targeting those accounts. It's a constant, you're constantly under threat. Constantly under threat because money is going through like a bank. And the moment you're not even aware of the existence of those syndicates, then, and you have an internal capability which actually has the skills and experience to deal with syndicated crime. And let me say that recently in a judgment by Judge Pottrell in a procurement fraud matter that we dealt with, where we received very harsh sentences for the syndicate involved in that procurement fraud, she actually stated in her judgment that she was surprised to see that there is an anti-corruption, or was an anti-corruption capability in SARS.
I just need some clarity. I'm a bit confused about the role that that unit was playing, the unit which conducted investigations into cigarette smuggling. Were they investigating taxpayers or people in the cigarette industry who were smuggling tobacco, or were they investigating the SARS investigators who were doing the work, who were conducting investigations into the cigarette smuggling?
From my review, they were investigating internal staff, which included the SARS investigators who were investigating cigarette smuggling. So I didn't see any cases where that were registered, where they were investigating taxpayers. It was the focus was on internal staff, and in particular, those people internally who were dealing with cigarette smuggling investigations.
Okay. And secondly, you said that the types of cases that you used to investigate, they were watered down. What happened to the cases that the cases that you were busy with at the time when you were moved to internal audit? Did somebody else continue with the investigation of those internal corruption cases?
No, we finalized all the cases. We finalized our cases, so we continued.
Okay.
But what I was trying to explain is the types of cases we were receiving. So new cases that were coming in were not at the same level of reporting of syndicated crime as we had been receiving in the past. So the number of reporting and the severity of what was being reported changed.